TV. There he goes. He's just leaving. Gene is leaving.
The big fella. It's the big fella.
So I got a nice, you know, I had my 16-bit. Okay, I had a 16 megabyte iPod.
Yes.
But I had 19 megabytes of information on it, so I had to compress the music. Which, you know, I'm not as big an audiophile as some of my friends are, but my buddy Chuck and Darcy DeVoe for my birthday gave me a 32 iPod.
Wow.
And so now I'm with my Bose QC15 headsets, the best headsets money can buy, made in Framingham, Massachusetts. Best purchase I ever made right here, Bose noise canceling headsets. And the proper baud rate for the music now. Oh, thank goodness, because the bus ride goes a lot faster with your Bose headsets. I could do a commercial for Bose, I'll tell you.
Number 32.
And also, my $9.99 Walmart backpack. Pastels, comfortable in his masculinity, is Rich Gilgallon. I'm trying to clean up the back wall here so it doesn't look like it's... Oh, Wakakta.
As for Bergdahl, he arrives back in the United States tonight. Sergeant Bo Bergdahl has been at a U.S. military hospital in Germany for about 2 weeks, and the military confirms he will now be transferred overnight to U.S. soil to Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, Texas, where his so-called reintegration process will continue. The Army says there is no exact timetable for how long it will take for Bergdahl to adjust after 5 years.
It's classified.
Capture. Yeah. The White House.
Everything is classified.
Military actions in response to the military insurgency in Iran. Police in Phoenix are calling on the community for leads in the shooting.
Now, do we have a headset for the thing? You get that?
But they're not even sure how many people were involved.
We have no information as to how many, whether it's a suspect or suspect involved in this issue.
Another priest is in critical.
We do.
So happens I have the adapter.
Oh, I was just going to hook it right up.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, what am I doing?
16 points this hour. You're listening to ABC News.
Uh-oh, I might have made a move.
Identity thief wasn't a stranger. It was her best friend.
Because I don't think this is long. Let me see what else I have in my...
What, for this? Well, I have a headset here.
Is it longer?
Yeah, it's long enough. We used it before.
Okay.
But this time, she was armed with a proactive protection of LifeLock services.
Have we used this before?
I don't think so. You and I haven't.
Yeah,
that's not going to be good.
Well, let's see what else we got.
Marcia was able to stop the fraudulent loan before it could damage your finances a good name. Marcia found out the hard way that identity theft has become so complex, you simply can't find it alone. Your personal and financial information is everywhere. Don't make the mistake of thinking identity theft will never happen to you. Visit LifeLock.com now and enter promo code AWARE or call and mention AWARE for 10% off your LifeLock Ultimate membership. Call 1-800-305.
Well, we got the Boses.
305-2203.
The only problem is that the Boses kind of short out.
A lot of people are still trying to figure out what David Bratt was able to defeat. House Majority Leader Eric
When I yell, they just short out.
We just won't be able to hear the... gosh darn it, Jeff.
Well, let's get it close anyway. We'll put this out so it'll bleed. You know, a little bit of it'll bleed. Or how far is that?
And they look at Washington and wonder why we can't resolve these issues. The hard to resolve, the president won't engage.
He's too busy playing golf. Or here we go. Close enough.
James McNair, Jimmy Mac, comedy circuit. He died at the scene of Saturday's crash on the New Jersey Turnpike. Back at theater in Peekskill, New York, where large staged Mike McNair's casket.
He's that perfect dad. You know, so many times we hear
I don't know how we can
fathers and all those things about fathers, and he was the opposite of that.
The Walmart truck. Possible
pull it out when I'm talking, and only have it on there when the listeners talk. That should do it. I gotta turn it down.
Will receive an honorary diploma
Oh, yeah.
during her school's 8th grade graduation. This is
Do
ABC
what?
News. No taxation.
Well, see, when I'm
without
talking,
tax
and my voice
type
is
representation.
projected here,
You need
and the
to
camera
type
mic picks it
on
up.
tax type.
Now, when the headset's there, I'm talking, plus it's being routed through the world and going into the headset as well.
Yes.
So it has a tendency to muffle me a little. That's I don't really care about that.
So you'll have to unplug it down there, though. I can't unplug it down
IRS 9196 for a free consultation.
Aha!
100 IRS 9196.
Always carry this with me if I have to wrap a mic somewhere.
there. Exactly.
Get it to stay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you there, Dennis, so buddy old pal.
Does that camera have a mic input?
It does.
It does.
Well, no, it didn't have a mic input. It has a mic on
If
it.
it had a mic input, we could take the headphone out, dump it down about 50 dB and stick it into the mic input. But if this is working,
Yeah, this works fine.
Yeah. I'd like to just pull the sound out the board when we hear some pixels. If I plug the sound in here as a mic coming off of there.
so well, yeah, right. That's what I was saying. And the output of the headphone is about 8 times louder than the mic. You have to fix your country.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm not a listener, so don't trust
Big D. It's the big D.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
It's a good-looking show. I think I'll rise.
I can hear you. I can hear you. The Western world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon. I want you to remember that no bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. What will you do without freedom? They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. I was the best because the crowd loved me. And the crowd, and you'll win your freedom. I will win the crowd. I will give them something they've never seen before.
Overlooking Mount San Jacinto from our palatial studios in beautiful Palm Springs, California. 25-year talk radio veteran, voted best in the valley. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show.
Thank you, Russ O'Hara. Thank you, Kay Smith. Thank you, Ray Charles. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. You're just much too kind. No. You're much too kind. Thank you very much. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show right here on Newstalk 920. KPSI here in the Coachella Valley, the spectacular desert of Southern California. Let me consult my $1 million weather station here. 98.8 degrees, whistling through the palm trees, right here in the western Gulf capital of these United States. Big throwback Thursday today. Hope you're having a great day. Don't forget to start your day every day with the Glenn Beck radio program every morning right here from 6 to 9. at 9 a.m. It is Excellence in Broadcasting, the Rush Limbaugh Show. It's Rush, then Rich. Rush, then Rich. Rich. The Rich Gilgallon Show. That's me, by the way, humbly. The Rich Gilgallon Show from noon to 2, and followed by Dennis Prager from 2 to 3. Mark Levin from 3 to 6. Dennis Miller 6 to 9. Dr. Savage 9 to midnight. And of course, your Dodger baseball action for, are you ready? The long hot summer. And it is a long hot summer here in the desert of Southern California. For those who are watching today, by the way, let me just remind you that we are broadcasting. Are we on our webpage today? We are. Jeff Harrison, through the good offices of Jeff Harrison and Amy Anderson, and their fine company, swingpointmedia.tv, are kind enough to help us broadcast this radio show every Thursday, every single solitary Thursday. We are live. You can find us here live. By the way, we're also live on YouTube and on Google Plus, and of course Jeff knows all about that. I am sadly clueless. I'm informed by Ace, a videographer, and the head fleabities of swingpointmedia.tv, that I have my own. I actually have my own page on YouTube, the Rich Gilgallon page. The only person who probably has not viewed it on his own page is Rich Gilgallon. I know there's a. Is there a password that I'm supposed to have? I know you mailed me.
Should I tell you that on there?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Well, no, not the password. Probably no. Probably not a good idea. But we'll straighten that out. But anyway, check us out on YouTube. I'm very pleased of the response that we're getting. We could use a little more response, though, to be honest. So if you are watching us right now, as we speak, if this is like next Thursday or next Tuesday, because this is Thursday, June
12th.
The 12th. Next, say you're watching this next Tuesday, and you say to yourself, this is pretty good. Share this on your Facebook page, and maybe email all your friends. So let's share it on Facebook or on, by the way, on LinkedIn. I was happy to find a way to. I called Jeff. I texted Jeff and I said, I need to figure out how to get this on LinkedIn, because there's a lot of people with a lot of power on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, as opposed, Facebook is all your buddies and your friends. LinkedIn has kind of got a business aspect to it. And so I said, how do I do this? Then I pushed the little share icon, and boop, a little LinkedIn icon comes up. And so all I had to do was touch it. So we want to thank everybody on Facebook, everybody on LinkedIn. If you'd be so kind as to share this video, we would certainly appreciate it. All right? All right, so that's the housework that I want to get out of the way. A couple of things going on. We have several very important things going on today, and I want to make a few points. Point number one. As you know, if you've paid any attention at all, we have children that are coming from everywhere, apparently, like the Pied Piper of Chicago. Obama has put out his pipe and is playing this pipe in all of Central America, throughout Mexico, and so we have thousands and thousands of young children coming unattended across, in some cases, across the whole nation of Mexico, and trying to get over the border to come into the United States of America, and they're trying to pluck the heartstrings of all of us. And is there anything that plucks your heartstring more than seeing a 9-year-old all by himself, trying to get across the Rio Grande? As I pointed out yesterday, though, this thing doesn't pass the sniff test, okay? First of all, how are these kids getting from El Salvador to Texas? How? They're not just hitchhiking. I mean, somebody is bringing them to the border en masse. And now we begin to find out, you know, the more you read, the more you study, the more you find out about exactly what's going on here. This whole thing is a setup to get the House of Representatives to pass the Senate, basically, bill. And that's what it's all about. This whole thing is organized. Of course it's organized. Because they think you're stupid. And you'll fall for it because they think you fall for everything else. They think so far it's so good. They've gotten away with everything. They've gotten away with manipulating the last election. They've gotten away with lying about Benghazi. No price has been paid by anybody in the administration for that. They've gotten away with Lois Lerner taking the Fifth Amendment before a committee hearing, who worked for the government of the United States as an IRS agent. They've gotten away with that so far. No price has been paid. In fact, Lois was on paid leave. And Susan Rice, of course, got a promotion after her lying week. And so much so that she was allowed to come out and lie again about Bergdahl and his service to the country. So, you know, they keep trying and manipulating you, and they're getting away with it all the time. And so let's do this. Let's create a crisis on the border of the United States of America. Here's what we should do. You ask me. We need to get the United States military. If you're not going to fight, you know, in the Middle East, if you're turning your back on Iraq right now that needs us desperately. Prime Minister Maliki has requested some help here. He's got an army now in his country of whack jobs that are taking it over. If we're not going to fight, we need to bring these servicemen back, and we need to put them 25 miles inside the Mexican border. Well, if the border isn't working one way, why should it work the other way? We need to get our military in there. We need to get our military in there to do two things. One, to stop this penetration by Central and South Americans into this country illegally. A. B, to take care of that cartel down there on the border. Because apparently the Mexican government can't handle it. Apparently the Mexican government has no control over the drug cartel. So maybe it's up to us to do it. So we need to get over there. About 10, 20 miles inside the Mexican border and stop it right there before they get across here. I said that to somebody the other day. They go, well, you can't just cross the border. That's illegal. Duh? No kidding. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're going to ignore the border, we're going to ignore the border. All right, we got a lot going on today. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. It's great to be with you. You're tuned in to Newstalk 920, KPSI.
Eliminate fear of house floods forever. Hey, it's the coach, Rich Gilgallon. Are you away from your desert property for an extended period?
So anyway, I thought in the break today, I'd talk about sports. You like that idea, Jeffy?
I love it.
This is a U.S. Open week, the great, spectacular game that we love of golf. And it's a Father's Day finish, as always. A little sad for me this year. It's my first Father's Day without my father. And so what an emotional moment. I don't know if there's I mean, winning the Masters is great. You know, you get to go back every year till you're 100. You can wear the green jacket at your grandkid's graduation. I mean, you know, it's great to win the Masters. But walking up the 18th fairway on a Sunday of the U.S. Open on Father's Day, you know, I think the only thing these people are thinking about, the guys that win this event, they got to be thinking about their father, don't they, Jeff?
Absolutely.
On Father's Day to win the U.S. Open, you got a 3-stroke lead, your ball's on the green in regulation, and now you're walking up, and you're thinking, oh, this is all I've ever wanted to do. Not only am I going to win the U.S. Open, my father's waiting for me either on the green or waiting for me in heaven. You know, and you're thinking, wow, what a moment this is. What a thrill that would be, huh? Come on, you could have done it. There's a 16-year-old playing. Did you see him this morning? No. Oh, weighs about 90 pounds. Little skinny kid. Pounding it out there. Pounding it. The U.S. amateur champion, by the way, today playing with Phil and Justin Rose. He was 2 under when I turned away after 14 holes.
Nice.
Meanwhile, the National Hockey League continues their 7-game series. The Kings up 3-1. They come back to Los Angeles. I believe they'll finish it off there. So there's a little sports update in the break.
Grand cash out of my house. I should have called sooner.
I helped Jim, and I'd like to help you too. Call us at 855-875-CASH. That's 855-875-CASH.
National Bank Equal Housing Lender, not licensed in all states. Call 866-900-8744 for terms and restrictions and licensing. Rates may change without notice. NMLS number 38512.
Hey, this is Rich Gilgallon. Do you live in fear of the Internal Revenue Service like most Americans? You don't have to any longer. Call Bernie Garland at 760-771-0010. Bernie Garland and the Garland Group. Visit them at garlandgroup.com. They can help you with all of your IRS problems. It's Bernie Garland. He's the man. 760-771-0010. Sleep peacefully.
This is my Messiah promo.
Callaway Father's Day sale.
I
Right
had to
now, get
input
down
it
$100
myself.
off Callaway X2
That's
Hot
right. That's right. I inputted it myself. You don't like it? Lump it.
2 dozen of the X2 Hot or X2 Hot Plus golf balls. While you're here, sign Dad up to win Bill's check from Piners and the Big Bertha payment. So this Father's Day, to save big, look great, and golf better, swing it a lumps.
Start your Sundays, every Sunday, with a new perspective. An eternal perspective. Every Sunday from 7 to 8. It's the Eternal Perspective, brought to you by Men of Messiah. Men of Messiah, a group of local men dedicated to promoting the Word of God. Tune in every Sunday at 7 o'clock for Chuck DeVoe and Rich Gilgallon. Brought to you by Men of Messiah. It's the Eternal Perspective. Join us 7 a.m. every Sunday morning.
Welcome back. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. Doesn't get much better than this right here. Walk along the river, sweet Alabama, and let's keep on going by where we're going. I tell you what, one of the great dual lead guitar battles ever recorded in rock and roll history right there. Little Dickie Betts, little Duane Allman, and so, you know, fabulous lyric for a sort of motorcycle band, you know, I mean, you're my blue sky, you're my sunny day, Lord knows it makes me high when you turn your love my way. I mean, what a song that is. One of my favorite songs of all time, Blue Sky. All right, so 760-320-8255 is the number. And the world is in a very strange place today. We have big problems going on in Eastern Europe. We have huge problems going on in Iraq. There's anarchy going on. It's a full spiral. The terrorists are not just a small band, because after all, as you know, if you've listened to the President of the United States and his minions and his sycophantic suck-ups that surround him on a daily basis, Al-Qaeda's finished. Headless on the run. Don't have to worry about Al-Qaeda. They're headless. We chopped off the head. Well, yeah, they have a whole army that's working right now to take over the entire nation of Iraq, and of course, backed by the Iranians, who believe that we should all die. and that we will all die because we are the great Satan. But, you know, we want to have a conversation with them, and we want to negotiate with the Iranians. You know, the Iraqi army, as we know, probably better than anybody else. All due respect to our Iraqi allies, you know, these guys fold up quicker than an old lawn chair. I mean, and of course, Joe Biden, as you know, at one time said Iraq is one of President Obama's greatest achievements. It's melting down right now, melting down. Fallujah gone, other cities gone. Daniel Halper has the story today about Biden. As Iraq falls apart, it's worth remembering Vice President Joe Biden hailing that country as one of President Obama's greatest achievements in a 2010 interview with then CNN host Larry King. I'm very optimistic about Iraq. I mean, this could be one of the great achievements of this administration. You're going to see 90,000 American troops come marching home by the end of the summer. You're going to see a stable government in Iraq that is actually moving toward a representative government. I've been there 17 times now. I go out every 2 months, 3 months. I know every one of the major players and all the segments of that society. It's impressed me. Well, you know, you're turning your back on them now. Right? This is a foreign policy. I can't figure it out. I'm not saying, you know, we go in there again with our soldiers, but I'm saying if the president of Iraq wants our help with some strikes, some drone strikes, some missile strikes, lob a few good American missiles in there, then we ought to do it, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I mean, we should be killing Al-Qaeda and Taliban, and we should be killing them everywhere we can. It would be good for the world if the stain of radical Islam is eliminated from the planet. That would be a good thing for the planet. If you're a ecology major or something, you want the planet to thrive. The planet would thrive a whole lot better without radical Islam, which is the number one killer, in my opinion, of people on the planet. We have all this outrage about these kids that are coming over here from South and Central America, and I think that's shared by most Americans, heartsick about it. But meanwhile, what have you heard about the 300+ little girls that were kidnapped in Africa by Boko Haram? Have you heard anything about them? No. I think we'd accept them with open arms into this country. They could live free. Freedom, which they're never going to have over there. It was hot for a minute. The story was hot for a minute. Even the left-wing press covered it briefly, but now it's on the back burner. Nobody's talking about it, and they still are acting out their bizarre little rascal He-Man Woman Haters Club fantasies, which is basically what it is. It's not much more than that for Boko Haram. So the world would be a lot better if we could just kill all of these Al-Qaeda and their affiliates, along with, in my opinion, the Taliban. But for some reason, we have an administration that, I heard this on a PMSNBC the other day. Well, we have to negotiate with the Taliban sooner or later, said one of these, idiot nerds that has amazingly has probably a 6-figure job sitting at the desk at MSNBC. They all sound the same. They all look the same. There must be like a little liberal factory or an eggplant somewhere. It keeps hatching these left-wing guys and gals. They all talk the same. They all talk the very same. They have the same beat to their speech pattern. It's absolutely bizarre. Nobody's ever said that, by the way, about me, Jeff, as I recall. I don't think anybody's ever said, he sounds like so-and-so. No! I don't sound like anybody. I sound like me. So we got tanks moving, by the way, in Eastern Europe. We have a some scam perpetrated on us by either our government or in mass the governments of Central America in conjunction with the drug cartel and the Mexicans. And by the way, while we are so focused on these young people coming across the border, as we should be, the cartel is running rampant. Running rampant. Now, we're taking our eyes off the ball here. So there's so much going on. I mean, really, if you were the president, if I was the president of the United States, I'd tell you where I'd be right now. I'd be right down there at that border. That's where I'd be. I wouldn't be coming to Palm Springs to play golf on Saturday. You know, you're coming to town to lollygag when there's a lot of things going on in this country that needs your attention. You're like on this permanent vacation. Well, my team is taking care of that. You know, I got my team active on it. I gave them strict orders. Do something. Forget about coming to Palm Springs, wrecking our city, for, our valley for several days with your presence, which is not a pleasure for us here. I can tell you that right now. Cost money. Police coverage. Airplane travel. In fact, I don't know what the trip costs, but you know that I think soldiers are eating like 2 meals a day or something. Didn't I see that the other day? That the military is now saying, well, it's no longer 3 hots in a cot. Now it's only 2. All right, it's the Rich Gilgallon Show. It's great to be with you today. Thank you for tuning in by video and by terrestrial radio right here on Newstalk 920 KPSI.
Hi, Coach. Happy lunch hour, everybody. Dennis Daly.
Thank you, Jeffy.
Yes, sir.
How we doing?
Good.
A federal jury has awarded $1 million to a 4-year-old man shot in the face by his insurance deputy.
I've never looked better. I mean, honest to God, I've never looked better in my life. You're be able to golf your playing. You know, they had to call you. What's the guy's name?
There are still 1,000 provisional ballots left to be counted for the third primary, and Chief Nichols has the update. The Riverside County Registrar of Voters Office is expected to have those ballots counted by the end of this week. That's Friday evening around 6. Those ballots involve people who showed up at the wrong polling places or who moved and failed to re-register at their new address. Turnout for the election just over 22% in the county. The 28th state Senate District race, Jeff Stone versus Bonnie Garcia. November, Garcia has a lead of 454 votes over third-place finisher Glenn Miller. I'm Gene. After banning the sale of marijuana in Gilgallon City back in 2009, that city's city council has now decided to revisit the issue and put the concept before voters. The Gilgallon City Council is working to draft an ordinance of the November ballot. Records show that when the first came into service in the Gilgallon City officials months, shut down a dispensary that had the investigation continues into an explosion of fire in a remote mobile home park in Palm Springs that left people homeless. It happened about 3:30 this morning. 2 mobile homes destroyed, 2 others badly injured. A shed, cardboard, and people were damaged. No one was hurt. A plan to initially provide affordable housing units in an area that uses Interstate 10 has passed the first administrative hurdle in the Coachella City Council. Home, law, and conduct. Temperature 107 today, 107 tomorrow, then cooling off. We could see a very comfortable 103 on Sunday. Monday, Dennis Daly, Newstalk 920 KPSI.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That's 300.
No bombs in school, and she didn't have the hose. So, I mean, she always went
It's all good, though.
Jeez.
It's going the way it's supposed to.
Different. They're coming.
Hey guys, what's new?
Well, forget us. We see what's new with you. Barb, you look amazing.
Oh, I know. She had a smile, Barb. She loves them, but mum's the word. Folks think they're hers. That's why she loves them. She's wanted them forever. Not for me. I thought she was fine. It's changed her life, though. Seriously, folks treat her different. She got a promotion. eats different, and they weren't that pricey either. Plus, they're perfect for life. Nice, huh? Where'd she go? Dr. Ren's in Palm Springs. There's a free consult. It's in one office, and Barb got sedated.
Dr. Rex at the Dental Implant Treatment Center, 902-7756, 902-7756, or drrobertrenz.com for a different kind of life-changing implants.
Call 877-GOLD-IRA today and receive a very important free guide. Call 877-465-3472. That's 877-GOLD-IRA today.
The Camelot Theater is your movie entertainment oasis. The Discoverers, a nutty road trip through textbook history and personal histories that'll supply laughs and heart. Ida, a powerful, poignant, personal, and political Polish drama. Say that 5 times. And Belle, a richly detailed period piece. Call 325-6565 or go to CamelotTheaters.com. Upstairs, cocktails. On Barista Road in Palm Springs, of course, it's Camelot.
Welcome back. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. Newstalk 920. KPSI. Scattered in the wind, I stood at a crossroad or two, cried to a river, swept to the sea, all just to get to you. Jumped the yellow cat. Oh, I sang till my lips turned blue. On tops of the clouds, all just to get to you. Welcome back to the Rich Gilgallon Show. You're on the Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please.
I am Steve Alamakita.
Hi, Stevie. How are you, buddy?
Good. Well, you know, it's important to enjoy life and not just live and die with politics.
Yes.
So after hearing Greg Allman, I thought I'd give you an Allman Brothers story.
Yes. We'd love an Allman Brothers story. I mean, who doesn't love the Allman Brothers?
Exactly. I was 18 years old. I was going to school at Indiana University and spending summers working up in Hampton Bays. And I met a girl down in Miami on New Year's.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you know, I mean, let's don't forget we're on the air now.
I know. I met a girl down, and she lived in Forest Hills in Queens, in New York. And I told her if she'd get tickets to the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
I'm hitchhiking everywhere, okay? I'm not flying or driving.
I hear you.
So I went back to New York, and I saw the Allman Brothers with Dickie Betts at Roosevelt Stadium in New Jersey. And, wow, big fan ever since. But, yeah, Dickie Betts and Greg Allman together on stage. That's a pretty good guitar.
Yeah, that was, well, actually, it was Dwayne Allman on guitar and Greg on the piano, but you're right. I mean, they had two amazing, and they had two sets of drums. They were one of the first two drum bands out there too. With,
and I actually remember that evening, at least most of it.
Well, thank you, brother. It's good to, yeah.
I thought I'd share some music instead of always beating the political.
Well, I know, and I try to, I go to bed at night and I go, maybe when I get up tomorrow, maybe the guy won't do anything stupid today. So we can talk about.
I'm afraid to turn the TV on. I mean, now it's Iraq. I mean, I'm afraid to ask what's next.
I know. Believe me, you're not alone. The country is. Thank you, brother. All right. Stevie leaves the line open at 760-320-8255 right here on the Rich Gilgallon Show, broadcasting live here in the Coachella Valley by way of Newstalk 920 KPSI and around the world on the internet at www.newstalk920.com, where if you're in front of a computer, you can watch us today, Thursday, 760-320-8255. Germany has called on all its citizens to leave immediately the nation of Iraq. The United States, Americans have been evacuated. Prime Minister Maliki has asked the USA for some help with some strikes, with some drone strikes. and what have you, which we should be doing forthwith. Rich Gilgallon Show, first name, please. Hi, you're on the air. Hello? You're on the air. Can you hear me now? I think Steve Buttcall was there. You know, sometimes you got to be careful with cell phones. You know, I know a lot of people this has happened to. You know, you call somebody and you hang up, and then you put the phone back in your pocket, and then you sit down and then you start talking about the person that you just called. You know, I mean, this is a new term. I don't know if this has made the 2014 Funk and Wagnalls yet. That's Funk and Wagnalls. Okay, don't call the FCC. But butt call is now it's got to get into the dictionary because everybody knows what it is. It's like TBT. It's like Throwback Thursday. Butt call is going to be part of the vernacular. And so what happens is you call somebody, and yada 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 yada, and you hang up, and you put it in your pocket, and somebody says, "Who was that?" That's this whack job that will not leave me alone. I mean, I've told this guy. I mean, I can't. I mean, then you pick up. Then you hear hello from your pocket. You hear hello. Your pocket's talking to you. Hey, you're talking about me. You know, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. Reminds me back in the day, and I mean way back in the day. It has to be 29 plus years ago. Well, you know, I don't know if you've ever done this, Jeff. Probably not, because you've had such clean living your whole entire life. But you know, you go out and you have a few, you know, and then you go home, and then you wake up at like 6 in the morning, you know, hungover, and the telephone handset is on your chest, you know, and you hear zzz, 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 and the first thought is, uh-oh, who did I call last night? Ever happened to you out there? Back in the day when we had telephones by the bed, you know, little princess phones. Did you have? I had a princess. We had princess phones in the bedroom. Did you have a princess phone? That was the little kind of phone like that.
Okay, I had the princess phone.
Okay, he did have that. I knew he had the princess phone. We all did. Everybody had the princess phone. So, anyway, just a little off this beaten path there. 760-320-8255. The Iraqi army collapsing. Citizens are joining the fight. Once these guys take over, and they're trying to take the world over. Their goal, by the way, is to take the world over. They're not content with taking Mosul, okay? They'd like to take Binghamton and Palm Desert and Cathedral City. That's what they'd like to do, and that's their goal. And they believe they're in it for the long term. So it's called the Islamic State of Iraq and Shams and al-Shams. ISIS is the term. And by the way, you know where they are right now. You know where this? I mean, it's in Nineveh. Does that ring a bell with anybody? Nineveh. Very, very prominently featured in the Bible. Nineveh. That's where they are. In a document circulating on social media attributed to the group ISIS, warned tribal leaders and sheiks not to work with the Iraqi government and be traitors, while proclaiming that women should only go outside if absolutely necessary. Now, that's not today. That's every day. I mean, these guys are, that's their main goal, is to make sure that women stay inside. They're petrified of free women. To women, we want you to know, dress decently and wear wide clothes. Only go out if necessary. Further rules include ban on drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes, that's except for them, by the way, while public gatherings. The possession of guns, you know, no guns, no carrying of flags, not of the Islamic State. All that is outlawed. Document added that ISIS wished to destroy all shrines and graves in reference to Shia shrines in towns such as Samarra, where fighting is continuing. To those asking, who are you? We are soldiers of Islam and took our responsibility to bring back glory to the Islamic Caliphate. Okay? These are the morons that you're dealing with. It's the same rhetoric from Boko Haram. The world is at war. It is at war today. It is a religious war, whether you like it or not. You can stick your head in the sand all you want. It's coming here. It's coming. If we don't stop it there, it's coming here. Sooner or later. Wake up, America, before it's too late. These people need to die, to be dead. That's what has to happen. It's the only answer here. I wish we could negotiate. Wouldn't it be nice if you could negotiate with the caliphate? But you can't negotiate. It's a religious war. I mean, these poor women. Bad enough. It's bad enough over there anyway. But now when it becomes, codified in the law, this obscene Sharia law, obscene. It's an obscenity on the face of the earth. That's what it is. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. You're tuned in to Newstalk 920. KPSI.
Hey, this is Rich Gilgallon. Do you live in fear of the Internal Revenue Service like most Americans? You don't have.
All right. Oh, let's get Bernie's
All
out
of
of
your IRS problems. It's Bernie Gartland. He's the man. 760-771-0010. Sleep peacefully.
Hey there, are you?
So anyway, Jeffy.
Yes.
Have you started chipping and putting with your bad wing there? But
I only did one arm swings today with my left hand when I was given a golf lesson, and I was happy with the shots I was hitting there.
let me ask you this though: are you less interested in the U.S. Open without Tiger Woods in it?
Yes.
Isn't that something?
No hesitation.
Isn't that something to hear from you? The golf pro's golf pro. But it's true. There is a little bit of a lack of, the excitement level is not what it could be. Now, if Phil is in the hunt on Sunday, I mean, it will give it a boost. But without Tiger, it's a little bit tepid.
Yeah. It's just, that opportunity for him to possibly catch another major and get closer, right?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It shows you how amazing was Jack Nicklaus. Huh?
Yeah.
18 major championships. Here you have the greatest, maybe the greatest golfer that has ever lived, and he can't catch him because he's breaking down physically. Nicklaus won his last major at 46. Tiger is now 38.
Yeah.
Can you believe Tiger's 38 or 39 even? Somewhere in there, 37, 38. Crazy.
I don't know this for a fact, but what was Jack's physical regimen during his heyday?
Not much. Not
so
much.
Did you think he overdid it?
Yes.
Let's talk about the.
Yes. I think you put too much muscle on. It really you can build muscle, but you can't build tendon. And that's why these guys that are juicing up, not the Tiger was, but I mean a lot of these juiced up athletes, they wind up with elbow problems, tendon, because their forearms are too big and their biceps are too big, and especially knee problems, because all the weightlifting in the world isn't going to strengthen your knees. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Little Bob Marley bringing us back. An homage to my friend Matt.
Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary.
Oh, it is in there. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. That's what I'm talking about. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Those are fine words by Bob Marley there. And they, you know what I've noticed lately? Started to notice it, you know, sometime last year, but really it's crystallizing right now. And that is that, you know, the revolutionary music that was a thorn in the side of the United States government in the 60s is very apropos today, with maybe a couple of changes. You know, Bob Dylan, come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. You know, and get out of the way if you can't lend a, get out of the way if you can't lend a hand. For the times they are a-changing. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. You're on the air. First name, please.
Hey, Coach, it's Jay. How are you?
Hi, Jay. How you doing?
I know you're an affable guy, but I got to rain on your parade.
Yeah, go ahead. Try to rain on my
In
parade.
Vegas, they didn't lay a crescent flag on the bodies of the dead officers, and the guy in Georgia last week, he wasn't there shooting people in the name of Allah.
I didn't say it was, did I?
Well, I mean, you're talking about fears, and they're coming to get us. I mean, the right-wing extremists are coming to get us.
They're not coming to get us. You know, that's such baloney. It's, you know, you got. I mean, it's so bad, Jay. I'm so sorry for you, bro.
No.
I mean, come on. It's not right-wing extremists. It's Muslim extremists that are killing people all around the world. How can you can't compare an army of foaming at the mouth Sharia law pontificates with a whack job and his wife in Las Vegas. All right, I mean, you just can't. I know that the left is anxious to do so. In fact, the Attorney General in particular, all he can talk about is, oh, you know, the big danger we have is these right-wing extremists. Baloney, baloney.
They are a threat.
They're not a threat. They're not a single solitary threat to this country, as opposed to the Muslim extremists. And by the way, did you feel the same way with the Weather Underground, or with the Black Panther Party? I mean, was that a concern? The same concern?
That I was about 5 years old. It really wasn't on my mind.
Well, I wasn't 5 years old, Jay. I wasn't 5 years old. I'm old enough to remember. And guess where those people are now? The people in the 60s that were actually bombing police stations and bombing banks and robbing banks. Guess where they are? They're sitting at a dinner table with Senator Barack Obama. That's where they are. Those guys, the real guys, you know, that were out there trying to kill people. So, you know, the last, you know, to hear from Eric Holder that the biggest threat to this country is right-wing conservatives is ridiculous. Ridiculous. 760-320-8255. I don't know why number 3 is. I don't think we have a third line. Hello, you're on the air. This is the Rich Gilgallon Show.
Hi, Rich. This is Jay from Rancho.
Hey, we do have a third line. Jay, my buddy, what's going on?
Yeah, well, first off, I want to say the other guy with my first name's a whack job, but that's okay.
Well, you know.
There's room in a free society for a couple whack jobs.
Of course there is. You know, of course there is. You know, I don't preach. Yeah, go ahead.
Keep in mind, people have seemed to have forgotten really quickly that radical Islam's already been here. We got 2 trade center bombings, including the 2 that killed 2,000.
Thank you.
The plane in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and many other little things.
Well, that's why George Bush was not afraid to call it the war on terror. But as soon as this administration was elected, they started running away from that because they wanted to disassociate themselves with anything that had anything to do with George Bush. And now we're paying the price. Now we reap the work. Now
what's happening in Iraq? I heard that spokeshole, the blonde with the glasses, is kind of ditty.
Oh.
she was on the air last night saying, we're going to send more supplies and equipment to help the Iraqi army. And I thought, well, wait a minute. They're abandoning U.S.-made equipment all over the place, and it's falling in the hands of the Al-Qaeda.
Of course it is. They have all the weapons. They took over they robbed $400 million from a bank. So I'll tell you what they're doing. Nothing. That's what they're doing.
No.
So we have no foreign policy because we have no leadership with a clear vision of what the world.
There were a few wackos on the far left after 9/11, forget the conspiracy theories, but who tried to say, gee, we must have done something to really...
Yeah, boy, that's what they did. That was their policy and philosophy. And that was Obama's philosophy. Well, if the world wasn't so mad at us, then we wouldn't have this.
Here's my message to the lefties before I let you go. When they get here to your neighborhood and they take over, instead of resisting like myself and Rich and the cast of millions will do, you just get on your knees and lean your head forward so the head whacker can do his job without having to struggle with you, okay?
Yeah, thanks, Jay. I appreciate it, brother. And I'll tell you what, they say, well, they're not coming here. Well, you know what? As Jay pointed out, they've already been here. And they, if we're not watchful, their express goal is the destruction of this country. They make no bones about it. They don't lie about it. They warn us about it. This administration just looks the other way. You're on the Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please.
Bonnie.
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 Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
I'm good. They are here. You're not going to believe this story. Yesterday I was at the building department down at the city hall in Palm Springs.
Oh, you poor.
And there was a very gregarious man standing next to me talking.
Yes.
And after about 2 minutes, he says, I'm a Palestinian Muslim, and you're immorally dressed.
He said that to you?
He said that to me.
You tell him to go fly a kite, that we're not in Palestine?
I said, you're in the wrong country. You're not in Palestine anymore. You're in the United States. I said, I have shorts and a tank top on. I said, this is very proper.
Well, I can't believe that he would have the audacity, but I'm not surprised about it because that's their goal. They have this goal, and it's to take over the world. It's...
Well, and he even went on further promoting all the wonderful things about wearing a
hijab, burqa and a hijab. Yeah, there's all kinds of wonderful things, like especially in the desert of Southern California. Oh, God help us. Thank you, Bonnie, for letting us know that. We appreciate that. Shame on that guy. He's got no business. He's got no business putting his dress code on anybody in the United States of America. Thank you, Bonnie. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. Stuff is happening in the country. This is nothing new. It's been going on since 500 AD. Bad. But you look the other way. Go ahead. Just look the other way. Don't pay any attention to it. I got about 30 seconds. You're on the Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please.
Hey, Coach, Tom in Palm Springs.
Hi, Tom. How are you, buddy?
Hey, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Jeff. He's the afternoon marshal over at Tyfoot. You got a hole-in-one this morning.
Well, good for him. How about that? I still don't have.
Slacking it around and,
beautiful, beautiful, brother. I still don't have mine. One of these days. So, which hole did he get it on over there?
Number 9 on the legend course.
Oh, that's a great little hole.
Yeah, he's looking around in the sand trap. I said, hey, Jeff, you want to look over here,
at one time, that was the longest par 3 in town. Because the tee box was at Tockwitz Creek, and the green was in the Salton Sea when the flood came through there. Thanks, brother. I appreciate the call.
One thing I wanted to mention.
I gotta go. Call me back at the next hour.
Okay, well,
sorry. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. It's great to be with you. You're tuned in to Newstalk 920 KPSI in Palm Springs. Stick around.
say dental procedures, what feelings come to mind? Feelings of comfort, relaxation? Probably not. But you should know that Dr. Robert
Well, it's a quick hour, isn't it, Jeffy?
Sure, just flew by.
Yeah, fly.
Sedation dentistry allows you to be sedated just enough to be pain-free and unaware of the treatment. You're just relaxing. You know that Dr. Rentz has been performing dental implants since 1972, and that he's the only one in the valley performing the custom subperiosteal implant. But you should also know he performs any other type of procedure, nails, periodontal surgeries, any type of restorative dentistry, right there in his office. And if anxiety is keeping you from getting the procedure you need, then sedation dentistry is the key. With it, Dr. Rentz will make sure your experience is comfortable and pain-free. To find out more about sedation dentistry or to schedule a free consultation, call Dr. Rentz now, 902-7756. That's 902-7756. Or go to Dr. Robert Rentz, that's R-E-N-S.
The Car Doctor, Sundays at 1. The Hot Talk is on Newstalk 920 KPSI Palm Springs.
Insurgents in Iran over the city's Mosul Creek on their way to Baghdad. Prime Minister got citizens to pick up arms to hold them back, and some in the U.S. began to be involved. More noise on Capitol Hill. Republicans here to list grants. What's going on in Iraq and neighboring Syria is scaring the hell out of them. The next 9/11 militants on the march toward the Iraqi capital. John Baker says the president is taking on the stone for 100 miles from Baghdad. Now, what's a president? Taking our path. President Obama says he's not ruling anything out. White House clarifies U.S. ground troops are not an option. Sherry? Thousands of kids, no leaders, and no parents crossing into the U.S. Homeland Security Department trying to solve the problem of what to do with them. Number of still underage children arriving in the U.S. just this year. Still a small city, 47,000. This is the problem of humanitarian proportions. Homeland Security Secretary Jake Johnson mobilized and other agencies to house the process. For escaping violence in Central America, we must do something instead this time. The United States asking other nations to help.
Love is everywhere. Dum 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 dum. We're in a revolution. Love is everywhere. All right, 1 hour down. Hour number 2 coming. Okay, let's skip that. Let's know what I'm talking about. Nineveh. That's where what's his name went into the whale.
Ahab?
No, that's Moby Dick.
Oh, okay. Moby was a whale, wasn't he?
Moby was a whale.
There you go. So I wasn't
But,
wrong.
no,
It's
you're no, it's just the wrong whale.
This Father's Day, give your dad the most explosive.
Yeah, they found some nasty stuff in beer. Of course, I haven't had one in almost 30 years, so it's not something I particularly am interested in.
The Huffington Post says it awes and entertains at the same time. And one critic calls it literally popular for the Breaking Bad generation. Good for Father's Day. Matches Burning by American master suspense Greg Niles is in hardcover wherever books are sold from good tomorrow.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Back, gone.
I'll be back.
Back in the U.S., back in the U.S., back in the U.S. But it's seeing Richie, huh? I'm gonna keep coming back until somebody remembers seeing Richie.
I'm on the way home, sweet home. Welcome back. Get back to where you once belonged. Get back, Coachy. All right, welcome back. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. Newstalk 920. KPSI. A lot going on. Let's how about a small round of applause for our former president, George Herbert Walker Bush. He's 90 years old. His 90th birthday. You know what he did for his 90th birthday, Jeff?
I have no idea.
He jumped out of an airplane. He parachuted, as he does every year on his birthday. Good for George. You're on the Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please.
My first name is Mike. I'm in Maple City, and I've spoken to you before.
Yes, Michael. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. You know, the thing on the border.
Yes.
The only ones that could have coordinated something like that could only have been the cartel. They rented every bus in Mexico. And now that they're coming over the border
Yes.
with all these kids, the emphasis is not on drug smuggling. They're probably running elevators.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, you know, our eye is off the ball here. You know, I mean, because I don't believe that it's the cartel that organized this, though, unless it's a final repayment to this administration for the weapons that our own Justice Department handed over to them. So maybe they're thinking.
Trying to figure out who is capable of funding the project.
Well, this is a government project. I mean, this doesn't happen overnight. It's not because of the situations in El Salvador or Honduras. If there was such a dramatic situation in Honduras or El Salvador or Nicaragua, then I would say that the president ought to get on an airplane and go down there and find out what's going on. Or the Secretary of State ought to go down there and find out what's going on. But where are these guys? I mean, we know the president's coming out here. He's coming out here for a fundraiser, again, in Orange County. Going to spend a little more time in the Coachella Valley. Meanwhile, just, you know, the border is fairly close. How about going down there and making a statement? How about going down there and saying,
The effect of this is the increase in drugs in this country.
well, I tell you what, they better enjoy it while they can, because there's going to be some changes in this country.
I sure hope.
It's either going to be, there's going to be some in November, and then 2 years hence, there'll be some big changes. Because
if you got a moment for a compliment, what I enjoy about your show
yes,
is, first of all, you're attainable. Second of all, you're provocative and cause thought.
I'm provocative in what?
In causing individuals to think.
Well, I hope so. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, my job is simply, I am tasked to provide the news of the day from a conservative perspective in an entertaining way. I hope I do that.
I think you succeed.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. 760-320-8255. Right here on the Rich Gilgallon Show. Now, you remember when we had this debate immigration, okay? And the focus of the debate from the conservative side was, we'll talk about immigration reform. We're happy to talk about it. It's obvious that the nation needs some kind of immigration reform. But we're not going to talk about it until you do what? What was our number one deal breaker? You have to first secure the border. I asked this question, simple question. Mr. President, is our border secure? When you have 12, 11, 9, 8, 6-year-olds crossing it right now. In fact, not only are they crossing it, and for the first time ever, they're looking for the Border Patrol. They're like, hey, where's the Border Patrol, amigo? Rich Gilgallon Show, first name, please. Hi, Tom, you're on the air.
Hey, this is my follow-up there. I was calling you earlier, but one thing I wanted to talk about, Coach, is this Eric Cantor. You know, since the primary last week, I've seen him on the air 3 times.
Yes.
And I have not seen you guys say once, congratulations, David Pratt. This is going to be a great experience in your life.
Yeah, it doesn't look good when it doesn't look good. Sour grapes never it looks good, even to your, And I've been in many campaign headquarters on election night. Okay, for victories sweet and for defeats difficult. But normally when the guy comes out and he'll say, or the girl comes out and they'll say, I just got off the phone with our opponent, and we want to congratulate him. And half the crowd will go, "Boo!" Because they're invested so much in the election.
The story you told about your father taught you you win, you walk down the center of the road.
That's right.
Gracefully, you lose, you stand on the side of the road, and you give the guy what he deserves.
That's right. It's the athlete's prayer. If I should win, let me walk down the middle of the road with my head held high. And if I should lose, let me stand by the side of the road and cheer as the winner goes by. But we don't have a culture that.
Well, cheers to your dad for teaching that.
Yeah.
That's a good man.
All right, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen nothing much but sour grapes. And the guy's in shock. He didn't expect to lose. I've said this before. There's an enzyme in the brain of human beings. And it lays dormant throughout your whole life, unless and until you're elected to the Congress of the United States. And it's the day the voting numbers come in, and it's decided that you have been elected, that enzyme it just comes to life. And it starts to work in your brain, and it whispers things like, you're the man now. You're the man. You don't have to listen to anybody now. You can do whatever you want for the rest of your life. Get rid of everybody that helped you get elected, and start, and hire only those DC professionals now. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it happen time after time. Something happens to a human being when they are elected to Congress. Something goes on in the mind. I don't care what party you're in. It's obvious. And so I have a plan. It's the Rich Gilgallon plan. Gilgallonism. How do we solve the problem at the border? Here's how we do it. We bring our military to bear. Okay? That's what we have to do. Bring our military to bear. And not on our side of the border. Let's march right into Mexico. Set up maybe a 10, 20 mile border in there where we're in charge. That's right. That's right. Take over about 20 miles, annex about 20 miles of Mexico on the other side of the Rio Grande and on the other side of these hills. And set up a military perimeter right there and say, listen, these days are over. You're looking for a free load, free package? Days are over. You're looking to hustle in here and commit some felonies and crimes? Over. You want to come and work? You come and go through the checkpoints. We need a checkpoint Charlie on the Mexican border with this country right now. It's long past due. I mentioned that to somebody the other day. They go, you can't just cross over a border. That's illegal. I mean, no kidding. But apparently there is no border. Not in the view of all these people coming across. And that's what La Raza wants, no border. There shouldn't be any border. We're all the same people. No borders. First, you got to decide that you need a border. I'd like to hear the President of the United States say, you know, our borders are important. I've never heard him say that. Ever. And then, you know, we got a couple of rules. You know, you want to come, you got to do a couple things. You got to meld into this society. That's what's kept this country moving in a positive direction for 200 plus years. You got to meld in. You got to speak the language. You got to learn the language. It's that simple. But we bent over backwards, right? We bent over backwards everywhere. You know, in Massachusetts, if you go in to get a ballot, it's in 15 different languages. You got to take care of everybody. I hear this commercial on MSNBC, Al Sharpton. The fight's not over. These people are trying to limit voting rights. No, we're not trying to limit voting rights. We're trying to save elections by asking people to identify themselves before they cast a vote. Is that asking too much? It's the most important right and privilege we have. Just tell us who you are and show us who you are. Okay, vote. So, the rhetoric. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. Time is flying. 760-320-8255. You're tuned in to Newstalk 920, KPSI.
Eliminate fear of house floods forever. Hey, it's the coach, Rich Gilgallon. Are you away from your desert property for an extended period of time? Have you received a call that your house is flooded, toilet overflow, washing machine,
Just push that button down.
Do I have a
Should
solution?
be up in the corner.
Water cop, water cop, water
Keep
cop.
going.
Automatic water shut-off system
74
will eliminate
anyway.
all
Free.
fear of water damage
'Cause I'm
to your
schwitzing.
house forever. It's amazing. If one drop leaks,
What's
your
102
water
outside?
will
I
shut
got a
off
little
immediately,
sheen
and
going
you'll
on.
get a call. No more
I'm
sleepless
sheened
nights.
up.
Water cop, water cop, water cop.
So what else happened in sports?
What else in sports? Well, you know, my Red Sox are struggling a little, but there's still a lot of time. The Kings and the Rangers, I mean, you can't ask for a better matchup, East Coast, West Coast. I prefer Bruins and our Capitals. Either one will do. Lakers still looking for a head coach. The Knicks, Phil Jackson shows his genius. New general manager of the Knicks. They hired Derek Fisher as the head coach.
How good is that?
Genius move, Phil. Phil, we're going to miss you out here, brother. The best of all time. The Zen master. Only 6 rings. That's all. Not much. Amazing. Derek Fisher, perfect Laker head coach. If it was up to me, I'd hire Mark Jackson today. Mark Jackson couldn't be the coach of in San Francisco anymore, of Oakland, in Oakland, Golden State Warriors. Why? Because he's a Christian. And they were offended by his lack of joy at the fact that a guy came out of the closet to play in the NBA. He said, well, you know, I'll pray for him and his family. Very difficult decision. I mean, I thought it was a fine response. Not fine enough, apparently, for the ownership of the Golden State Warriors. Stupid. Because they want to move their stadium into San Francisco. And they were afraid of the backlash against a Christian coach. That's what's going on. You don't think there's a religious war going on? It's coming. Don't give up the fight. I'll be playing Saturday with the boys and Sunday in the Big O Tires Father's Day extravaganza. at Escena. And you know what I might do, Jeff? I may go to the range. Dial 911. I may actually go down the COD range this week and schwack it over. I like that green shirt. Do my eyes look green? Are they picking up the green aspects?
I think they are, Coach.
They are. I told you 100 times. Wait till I'm on the air to call, because I don't know how to put you on hold and bring you up over here. So the only way I can do it is in transitions.
Your appearance and attitude are remarkable. To find out more about the custom subperiosteal implant procedure or to schedule a free consultation, call Dr.
Oh, take me in your life, boy. Oh, take me in your life, boy.
Dr. Robert Renz, that's RENS.com. Sedation dentistry available.
Welcome back. Oh, take me in the lifeboat. Take me in the lifeboat. It will stand the raging storm. Take me in the lifeboat. Take me in the lifeboat. Hear the singer, singer, sing. All right, you're on the Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please.
Larry.
Larry.
Hello. First time call, I'd like to say two things.
Yes.
I heard Glenn Beck say something on the show either this morning or yesterday, and it really hit home.
Yes.
It all comes down to this. We were put on this earth by our Heavenly Father to be loved and to love.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, I'm sorry. To love and be loved and use things. However, our current world that we live in, especially our leadership, is in love with things and manipulating people and not respecting life in any way, shape, or form as many others, radical Islam, etc. in our world. And it's just a shame to see how people are in their lives are worth nothing to these people based on their power.
That's a very good point. They took over now several cities in Iraq. We saw what this Boko Haram sect of radical Islam has done in Nigeria with these young girls, capturing them and paying no price, really, for it. And it does. We see the way women are treated by the Taliban in Afghanistan. By the way, before September 11th, 2001, I became aware of the way that the Taliban was treating women through something I saw by Jay Leno's wife, Mavis. Is it Mavis? That brought it to my attention. I began to look into it, and I called for a declaration of war on the Taliban before 9/11, just because of the way they're treating women. I mean, we can't just look the other way our whole life. And what does the liberals say about that? Well, people have a right to have their own rules and regulations in the country. Yeah, okay, sure. I don't think so. I think everybody on the planet has a right to be free. Everybody.
That's right. I agree 100%, Rich. I really enjoy your show, and I've got several friends that are in the military, and they serve their country proudly, and I'm so appreciative for the sacrifices that they've made. And I took my son to the D-Day celebration over at Palm Springs Air Museum, and it's a shame how few people were there.
I know.
And the news coverage that was lacking for such an important. I mean, people don't realize. I got to say this. I asked my son's teacher if she was doing anything special for D-Day.
Yeah.
That evening that I was in the classroom, she didn't even know what D-Day was.
I can't. I'm not surprised.
My first grade son.
Oh, what a horrendous thing.
It's our responsibility as parents, ultimately.
It is.
The education, but it's just sad that people are just so uninformed.
Well, I hope you were able to tune in on D-Day, on the anniversary of D-Day here. We went.
I did hear some show.
We went over Roosevelt's prayer and Ronald Reagan's speech on the hills of Pont du Lac. You know, so it was a very emotional and moving show for me. I know that. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate the call.
You have a great day.
Thank you very much. You're on the Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please.
Hi, it's PJ.
Hiya, PJ. How are you, PJ?
Well, I'm okay, but I'm sad today. I'm going through bouts of tears because of Iraq.
Yes.
I have a cousin who died in Iraq in September of '06. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor
Is
from
that
President Bush. And my heart just weeps for their parents. Oh my God, how can this be happening?
Well, I think what you're saying is that, you know, a lot of guys, you know, we saw this just last week, didn't we, when the courage and conviction it took to capture these Taliban leaders and the lives that probably were sacrificed in that regard, completely overlooked by this administration in their hurry to release them at any cost and for, you know, at any price, really. And now we see the gains that were hard fought and hard won, just being, you know, thrown away and wiped aside. Yeah, and this is, and they're proud of this, though. See, that's the concern. I mean, it'd be one thing if the president said, you know, I really feel bad about what's going on in Iraq. I just don't feel that we should do anything about it. But he doesn't even have the courage to say that. You know, instead he says nothing. You know, except for I know, PJ, you are though, PJ. You keep leading on, honey. Don't give up the ship. Don't give up the fight, PJ. We need you out there.
I know. We're trying to save desperate hot springs.
I know. One day at a time. One day at a time. Thank you, PJ. Okay. God bless.
Thanks, Kirby.
Yeah, you know, it's emotional stuff. It's no joke. You're on the Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please. Hello.
My name's Jack, and it's a civil war over there. We never should have gotten in there, and it's none of our business.
Bob, you can't fool me. My name is Jack. I'm trying to sound like John Kennedy. Bob, you're banned for this week, for the rest of this week, Bob, for yesterday's comments. I'll just leave it at that. 760-320-8255 is the number. Regular listeners know I was forced to ban Bob. So we talked earlier about securing the border. I mean, we don't think that's asking too much. That's the prime responsibility, by the way, of the United States government. It's not the prime responsibility of the United States government to tell every school in the country what should be served for lunch. That's annoying to people. Mrs. First Lady, it's annoying. You are annoying. Okay. Because we know, you know, when nobody's looking, you're munching on a cheeseburger too, as is the cheeseburger eater in chief. Barbecue. People are so sick of the hypocrisy in Washington, D.C. that I believe we're reaching a tipping point. How about this? How about Chris Matthews last night? I mean, I was shocked. I got to find this. I got this in my stack of stuff here. It was shocking. I hope I can find it. He went off on Ronan Farrow. You know Ronan Farrow, who's you know, another whack job liberal. I mean, Chris Matthews took him on. Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please.
Hi, my name is Judy.
Hi, Judy. How are you today?
Okay. I just wanted to ask you, you know, First Lady is a registered dietitian.
I doubt it, Judy. I think she's a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, my thing is, how could she decide what?
Well, because but Judy, she knows what's best for you, Judy.
That's right.
She knows what's best for you. Like, for example, you know, no more chicken skin, Judy. Can't eat the skin on the chicken. You can only eat the And no more spaghetti. No, you can only have spaghetti. You can only have spaghetti if it's made out of kale. Yeah, here's what I have to say to the First Lady. Butt out! You know, butt out! Now, you know, back in the day, Judy, I said to myself, I said, I'm never going to complain about a guy that plays golf. You know, because especially out here, because this is what drives, it's the engine that drives this community, golf. I mean, whether we like it or not. However, and this guy, he takes it to just a new level. And plus, I've seen that swing. Let me just put a little challenge out to the President of the United States. If you got a few of those millions of dollars that are floating around in your pocket, you want to play for a couple of those dollars with a 10 handicap, you know, come on out here. I'll take you on right over there at Sunnylands. Mop the floor up with you, I'm telling you. Oh, jeez, who let that picture go? It was hysterical. I mean, yeah, he's a macho. Yes. Yes, we got about a minute.
I was so disappointed, and of course, that California called a lot.
Yes.
But I was disappointed in the remarks after the
right, but I don't know if you. Well, I don't know if you saw him apologize profusely on Good Morning America. I know, but you know, so you make a mistake, and then the only thing you can do is try to correct it. I mean, I've been in this business talking live on the radio for 20 plus years, and you know, sometimes you say the wrong thing, and when it's pointed out to you and you realize it, you do the best you can and apologize and try to go forward from there. That's all you can do.
Yeah, he was so nice in the first two races because he won.
I know.
And I wondered if he would have made those comments if the horse had won. I doubt it.
No, certainly wouldn't. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate your call.
Okay, I enjoy listening to you so much, Coach.
Thank you. You made my day. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. You're tuned into Newstalk 920, KPSI. People are so nice, aren't they nice?
Rich and hi again, everybody. Dennis
nice.
Bailey, Newstalk.
They're so nice to me, Kathy.
KPSI brought to you again.
They love the coach.
5 California.
Graham McDowell, 200.
Leader?
Yep.
What did I tell you? I mean, there was 3, 4 under. Now they're down to 2 under. Is he the only one?
Snedeker, 1 under.
He finished at 1 under.
Yep.
Ooh, look at this. Look at this collage. Boy, that's a great picture.
Kirk Douglas Way through the airport and airport
Love that
center
picture.
drive
I've never
between the
looked better.
Laredo gas station and
All right, camera off me now.
closed from 11 o'clock in the morning until noon on Monday because of the arrival of the president. Police in Desert Hot Springs are asking for the public's help in piecing together details of last week's fiery head-on collision that killed a 65-year-old woman. Michael Collins has that story.
3 people were seriously injured in a 2-vehicle crash that occurred at about 5 Tuesday morning on Southbound Park Drive near Camino Campanero. Maria Caballero of Desert Hot Springs died at the scene. Several citizens stopped and rendered aid but left before police got there. Now, their information could be vital to the investigation. The number for Crime Stoppers is 760-341-7867. I'm Michael Collins.
There are still 1,000 provisional ballots left to be counted from the June primary. The Riverside County Registrar of Voters Office is expecting to have the totals by tomorrow evening. A 19-year-old woman who allegedly attacked a deputy who asked her to stop blocking the entrance to Desert Mirage's high school graduation was released from jail today. Thermal resident Maria Barrington allegedly was obstructing her front entrance. Speaking of graduation, tonight, the graduation night for 180 students from UC Palm Desert. The commencement gets underway at 6 at the Ala Caliente Casino on Bob Hope Drive. Local boxing champ Desert Storm Bradley
so
throwing out the
clear.
first pitch of the
Yeah, the
Palm
light,
Springs
the
Power
shades
Baseball
open really helped them.
tomorrow evening at 7:05. The Dow down 100.
And my green shirt's coming through to bring out the green highlights in my eye.
Down 14. Weather staying around 107, slightly cooler over the weekend.
So what we need to do, is
Newstalk 920 KPSI.
when we have a couple of minutes. One of these days.
Swing in for our big Callaway
It's,
Father's
what I'll
Day
do is I'll go through
right
all
now,
the ones
get
that
down
I've already
$100
done.
off Callaway X2
And
hot
I'll pull
irons.
out like one segment
Limited
from,
edition hat when you buy 2 dozen of the
you know,
X2
so we
hot
have
or
4
X2 hot
segments,
plus
like
golf
1 hour.
balls. While
Okay?
you're here,
And
sign
then we'll
that
just,
up to win Bill's
and then
check
we'll
from
put that
Pinehurst
on
and the
so that,
big,
you know,
big
all the
Bertha payment.
downtime is
So
not
this
on.
Father's Day, to save
And then
big,
we'll,
look great,
you
and
know,
golf better, swing
send that around.
Sure. I started downloading some of your stuff, but
No one
said
is
something
happy
on
about
Sunday
needing dental
about
implants. But
picking
one
up
thing is
times.
certain. If
Well,
you
just to help, you know,
Yeah.
but if you look at a segment
Dr. Robert
and you go,
Ramsey
well, that's,
Dr.
you know, because
Ramsey
you
has been
know as
performing
well as
dental
I know,
implants since 1972,
you know,
and was involved in the early
what's the
development
keeper
of the
is.
titanium casting process.
Okay.
Yes, it's an elegant
I think
procedure.
that would be, that
There's
way,
a CAT scan made of your mouth. A
you know,
cast is made. Then there's a single
you send it to
surgery to
Fox
insert the
or
custom
somebody and
implant. But the beauty of
they don't
going
have
to
to
Dr.
wade
Ramsey
through,
is that everything is
program
performed
directors
right
and
there in one
TV
office.
programs,
His
particularly.
office. No one
Yeah,
comes
they're
close
like,
to having
okay,
his
yeah.
experience and level
You know,
of
they got to be
expertise.
bold.
The
I think
results are like
Roger Ailes.
Not only can you
Roger,
bite like you
are you
used to,
out there?
apples, nuts, anything.
Take
But the
a Raj,
smile can
Rich
improve your
Gilgallon.
appearance
Just
and
take a look, will you?
To find out more
Take a
about
look.
custom subperiosteal implants,
Give me a shot, Roger.
schedule
Just
free
take a quick look.
consultation.
Oh, wait,
Call Dr.
let's do it this way. Roger Ailes, take a look at this show. Just like this, Roger. Come on, right after Sean. Come on, right here. Or how about overnights? You got nothing on overnights, Roger. Put me on overnights, and we'll be like, you know, we'll do radio and television at the same time. It'd be unbelievable, Roger. Clip that off and put that on the top for Mr. Ailes.
Tune in every Sunday at 7 o'clock for Chuck DeVoe and Rich Gilgallon. Brought to you by Men of Messiah. It's the eternal perspective. Join us 7 a.m. every Sunday morning.
Wiggity wiggity! Welcome back to the biggity show. It's the Rich Gilgallon show. And all I see you know I could use somebody. You know that I could use somebody. Yes, I could. Someone like you. All right, welcome back. That's some, you know, listen, I love my music, you know, obviously. I love my oldies. We got Russ O'Hara right across the hall there. On KDES, one of the great music DJs in the history of the media. And he's been playing the oldies, Jeff, since they were newies. That's how long he's been playing them. So I like my oldies. I like my rock and roll. I like my reggae. I like, you know, I like my jazz. You know, I like my country. I love my troubadours. It's my favorite radio. I'd like to start a troubadour radio station where every song is one person and one instrument. Troubadour radio. I love my John Prine and my Steve Earle and my Jackson Brown. I love my Patty Griffin. She's my #1 right now. Mary Chapin Carpenter right there, neck and neck. Right up there, neck and neck. I might have told you this this Mary Chapin Carpenter story, you know, I mean, well, it's probably better the phone rang. You're on the Rich Gilgallon show. First name, please.
Hey, Coach, it's Mike.
I am Mikey. How are you, buddy?
Okay, hey, listen, back in 1974,
Yes.
I won an album from KRLA in Los Angeles. Who was the DJ? Russ O'Hara.
Get out of town.
Yeah,
Is that right?
that's right. That's how long. So he's been many years.
And how good was he then? Was he was unbelievable then, wasn't
Oh yeah, well, I was a kid, man. Hey, we all was KRLA.
he? Yeah. KRLA was a monster.
You know, I had Tears and a lot of those ones were back in. I think Tears spoke going on.
Yeah, KR's still there. That's more Orange County though, I think, than KRLA.
Well, you're in West Covina and Lafayette, you pick up all those like they're sitting next door to you.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, so was I. I was a kid in New Jersey, and we listened to WABC with Cousin Bruce. And I had a 9-volt radio. Remember those, Jeff?
Oh, I do.
Was it 9 or 8?
9.
It was 9-volt. And that was the one that you had to plug in. It had like 4 little things on the top. It was a square battery. And you plugged it in. And then I would put it on, and I'd stick it under my pillow. And my father would call up. He goes, "Is that radio on?" I'd say, "No. Make sure that radio's not on. That damn rock and roll music. Put on Perry Como if you're going to listen to something." So, thanks. Hey.
Yeah, the other reason why I called is, they're interviewing John Boehner about the election in Virginia.
Yes.
About why Eric Cantor lost. And he said, well, he didn't think it had to do with the political, or I forget what it was, that didn't really have anything to do with him or the way they're running the show. And I'm thinking, you keep thinking that.
He's absolutely wrong, and he needs to wake up, okay? Because his time may be short as the speaker too. Because this is and I know that the left enjoys this, but that's okay. We have to clean this party up first, and we'll do it. We're going to get it done, and if that means that we need a new speaker, then we'll get a new speaker. I mean, because we're tired of the double talk and the backslapping and the handshakes and the behind-the-scenes meetings. I still cannot believe, frankly, that these Bergdahl meetings to inform members of Congress were held in secret. Why? Why should they be in secret? The American people have a right to know what's going on here.
And listening to all the callers, not only on your show, but the national talk shows, we're all radio junkies. And we're patriots, and we believe in God and our country. And to listen to the passion of these folks calling in and how disgusted and afraid they are of the decisions the government is making, and it's right to the court.
And they are dismissed by the President of the United States, totally dismissed.
This drives me nuts.
All right, and we heard the liberal caller call in earlier about the problem that we have to be concerned with is right-wing terrorists. I mean, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Now, are there whack jobs out there? Yes, sure there are. But I mean, let's put it in perspective here. The problem facing the world, the problem facing the country is radical Islam. That's the problem. And their desire to take over the world. They're not happy in their area. They want everybody to believe or die. This is the great religion of peace. This is where I disagreed vehemently with my hero, George Bush. I mean, I thought that was, way too soon to come out after 9/11 and say, it's the religion of peace. We don't want to hold Islam against Islam. Now, I would go for that if I saw some reaction by some of these muftis that would speak out against it. But you never see that.
Absolutely, and stand up for their own religion. Let that religion be overtaken by the chief over there that just won a rampage over everything.
I know.
And now we're involved in.
All right, hang in there, brother. Hang in there, brother. Good to hear from you. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, brother. That guy's been calling me on the radio since I think I was in D.C. Broadcast live out here in the Coachella Valley on the fabulous sports radio talk program, Kylie and the Coach. You're on the Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please.
David, Palm Springs.
Hi, David. How are you?
I have a just wondering question.
Oh, just wondering, are you, David? Hold on. Let me get my just wondering hat on. Hold on. Where is it? Where's my just wondering hat, Gene? There it is. Okay, go ahead, David.
Since the president didn't give Congress 30 days notice that transferring those terrorists.
Yes, violating the law, by the way.
Could the commandant of Guantanamo refuse to obey that order?
It gets a little dicey when you're talking about chain of command. What's interesting is that the liberals normally would say, well, the commandant should be able to not follow an order if he feels it's an illegal order, right? you know, and but you know, it gets a little dicey. I would love to have seen the commandant refuse, though. That would have brought. He would have been fired, but he would have been an immediate candidate for the presidency of the United States. You know.
Yeah, I think it would be the end of his career.
Probably, but you know, but where is the, you know, listen, I mean, Elliot Richardson was a Rockefeller Republican, basically.
No, Jack Nicholson.
I know, but I'm talking about Elliot. I'm talking about Elliot Richardson. I mean, when Nixon told him that he had to fire the prosecutor,
Right.
He refused and was fired.
But he was a civilian.
Yeah, he was a civilian. Yeah, that's right. That's not the military chain of command. But, you know, it's interesting. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate the call.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I wish somebody would stand up, I mean, and say no. But the amazing thing about the Democratic Party is that they march in lockstep for the most part, don't they? I mean, whatever the glorious leader doth utter, they all stand around and go, he's wearing clothes. He's wearing clothes. I mean, the king, you know, who will speak truth to the power? Who will tell the king that he's not wearing clothes? Is there anyone in that administration with any courage at all? Any? It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. Amazingly, we're running out of time. You're tuned into Newstalk 920, KPSI.
Hi, this is Chef Hector from the Camelot. What if your parties and entertaining were easy? Let us cater your party from 20.
Day goes like this. You just give a shout out to all the family members of Rich Gilgallon that are tuning in by way of tuning in by way of a video. This will be up on Facebook later. Of course, it won't be later when you click it. It'll be then. But please do me a favor and share this with as many people as you can. If you could just hit it. Once you look at it on Facebook, if you could share it with all people on your Facebook page and ask them to share it, it'd be very helpful. Thank you. Jeff is experimenting with background. Can we put like the like red, white, and blue behind us? Is that the desert or is that Stonehenge?
Rome, baby.
Oh, Rome. How about an American flag? Is there one? Is there one on there?
I don't have one of those.
Like a red, white, and blue thing? That would solve several problems. I am here. Is that going? That doesn't go out though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it does?
Oh yeah.
Oh, when you do that, it goes out to the feed? Let me look through that window. I feel like Patrick Evans. It's 75 degrees here, 85 degrees here. That's the easiest job in the country. Coachella Valley weatherman for my buddy Patrick Evans. 72 in La Quinta. Of course, 102 in La Quinta. 101 in Palm Desert. 103 in the Cove. Hey! So that's like a minute later, or 30 seconds delayed?
Yeah, about 1 minute behind.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why is that? Just this.
Just the bandwidth.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's flipping out.
It's changing backgrounds.
Amazing. One of the great rock and roll songs of all time. This is headbanging music coming back to you. Some days, nothing else will do but AC/DC.
Before it starts, go to homefloodprevention.biz. Water cup is recommended by insurance company. And of course, the coach. That's 760-564-8840. 760-564-8840. Water cup, water cup, water cup.
Welcome back. How about a little bass? Jeff, how about a little bass for you? Here it comes. Are you ready? That's what I'm talking about. Welcome back. That noise, that thunder is the American people rising as if one. That's us! All right, 760-320-8255. You guys have been calling all day. Really appreciate the volume of calls that we're receiving. I'm so grateful. Let me just say, first of all, I'm very, 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 very grateful to be here. I'm extremely grateful to have this opportunity to talk about these important issues with you. Now, I'll be honest, it is somewhat stressful in my life because I have to pay attention to this stuff. You're on the Rich Gilgallon. You're on the Rich Gilgallon show first, please. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
By any legal means necessary, Rich. Legal means.
You didn't say that, Bob. And that's why I had to.
I correct myself
right.
yesterday because it was taken the wrong way.
Well,
legal means necessary.
I know.
We don't want anything to happen.
No, we don't.
We want to change things peacefully.
Yes, we do.
At the ballot box,
yes,
like
we do.
Abe Lincoln said.
All right, I'll give you. All right, I'm glad that you straightened that out because when.
I'm sorry.
All right, that's okay. That's okay. Then you are now unblocked. You're
okay. Thank you very much.
You're back in my good graces because you have good feet. Bob actually. Oh. I like Bob. I want to say this up front, but Bob is radical. Okay, he's radical ideas, and that's fine because he's an American citizen, and we have a right to have radical ideas. Although one or two of our callers doesn't quite understand that we have the right to even say to the leader of the country, you're a whack job, because we don't have a king here in America yet. He may decide to try to use kingly powers. You want to talk about prayer? I cannot imagine who is going to be let out of the prisons of this country the week before the final week of the Obama administration. We saw how Clinton used it. And, hey, listen, I support, I'm a constitutional guy, and I think it's okay that the president has that power. It's very rarely been abused. But I got a bad feeling about this president, because this written writ has very rarely been abused, and it's being abused every day in the White House now. Where, we have a system. It's checks and balances. Remember learning that in what did they call that class in school? They didn't call it that in math. Civics. It's checks and balances. But we got a guy who cashes the check and doesn't care about the balance. It's the Rich Gilgallon Show. First name, please.
Alice from Desert Hot Springs.
I love that name, Alice.
I was just wondering if we should be somewhere near the airport tomorrow. We want to make a gathering and have some signs.
They won't let you.
No,
they won't let you anywhere near there. I mean, it's not like it was in the old days where you could protest. I mean,
I can't hear what you're saying.
I'm saying they won't let you anywhere near there, Alice.
Yeah, I assume that, but we got to do something.
I know. I mean,
must be turning over in their.
Oh, can you imagine Mr. and Mrs. Annenberg and Dutch Reagan too? I'm sure they are.
Yeah, and when they even had the Chinese communists come there with Obama, nobody said anything about that.
Well, I'm the only guy that still calls it Red China. Thank you, Alice. Say, you know what? You can get anything you want at Alice's.
Yeah. The liberals are always so organized, and they've got all the union people they can call up in a heartbeat. And with their signs, and we don't do that. I guess it's just part of our nature too.
Well, let me just
to do it, but
yeah, because we're generally law-abiding to the best of our ability.
and busy working, holding jobs.
Yes, and busy holding jobs. You know, you can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Did you know that?
You're right.
Thanks, Alice.
Thank you.
That's my mother's name. That's why whenever anybody says, Coach, it's Alice, it gives me a chill. It does. Because I don't think too many people get named Alice anymore. You know, they get named. You know, there's like 6 names in high school now. Brittany.
Letitia.
Brittany is one of them. I know that because I know about 19 Brittany's. And I'm not sure. You know, it's funny how names change. The most selected name in Michigan, I think, is Mohammed right now. By the way, just you know, just something to think about. That's all. That's all. You know, listen, I love my fellow man as far as I can throw my fellow man. Okay, I mean, I do the best I can. But when you go on television and radio and say that our #1 goal is the destruction of the American empire, our #1 goal is death to the great Satan and the small Satan, and you go on there, and I'm not talking about just guys. I'm talking about presidents of countries. I'm talking about spiritual, and I use that term as loosely as possible, spiritually. Yeah, the great Satan. They'll tell us what to do. And now Iraq is in turmoil. Russian tanks, I think, have moved into the Ukraine. I'm just getting that across the wire right now. So keep your eyes on that. And it goes on and on. It goes on and on and on, you know, on a daily basis. I'd love to come in here and talk about, when I talk about bombs, throwing long bombs, I'd like to be talking about a football game, you know. But unfortunately, that's not the situation the world is in right now. And thank God that we have this ability still in a free America to talk on the radio about whatever we want. We have the freedom of speech. Now, the liberals don't want you to have that. They want you to have less freedom of speech. Yes, they don't like it because, you know, you actually disagree with their knee-jerk, pablum-puking, leftist-leaning position. So, they don't want you to be free. And the funny thing is, in the 60s, right, they were all about, you know, freedom. Freedom. And I bought into that. I was all for freedom. In those days, it was freedom to grow your hair over your collar or over your ear. And now none of us do anymore. You know, we all fought the hair wars. I call them the hair wars. That took place in every household in this country, pretty much. You remember how hard you fought to be able to grow your hair long, and how much of it is left right now is what I'm asking you. You know, how much of it is left? All right, we'll be back tomorrow for the big Friday show. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I am extremely grateful to one and all. Mike Cotter takes us out. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to Jeff Harrison and SwingPointMedia.tv. If you have something, if you want a presence on the World Wide Web for your business, if you don't have one now, you are behind the 8 ball. If you want a presence, you contact those guys at SwingPointMedia.tv. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, please do me a favor, take it one day at a time. Right here on Newstalk 920 KPSI in Palm Springs. God bless you. God bless Dr. Robert Renz, and God bless these United States of America. See you.
But now,
Button in,
you used to love the honky tonk.
Goes by, doesn't it? It does. 2 hours, boom.
But now the honky tonk is
Without a
over.
note. I don't know how I do that. 3:20.
Now life is a bitter thing, my sweet.
You've been thinking about dental implants for